Okay, hello, everyone. Welcome. For whatever reason, it was wanting me to add someone, so maybe it's a clue. Maybe there's a sign there for us to start some dual card readings. If any of you are card readers or intuitives looking to collaborate, maybe you have a YouTube channel, I'm down to consider that with you, by the way. But hello, my name's Fola. Let's start with a bit of just some cleansing of our space. Today's live. I'm going to be pulling cards for the collective and for personal readings. And we're going to tune into what your spirit guides are trying to tell you. Maybe there's some messages that have been coming through, wanting to come through for you. And we're going to just tune into that. So wherever you are coming and joining here, whatever that looks like, just calling to your guides, your ancestors, all those beings of the space around you that wish to contribute positively to your life, the land in which you find yourself. I'm just going to call to all those contributing energies to make themselves known here, to speak clearly. Hmm. I'm seeing a little bit of a crack in my shell here. Never noticed that before. Anyways, so yeah, let's get into the reading. Just before we start off, I want to just speak because I'm like finding I'm getting more and more people viewing, watching, and especially wanting card pulls for their personal readings, which is amazing. Thank you so much for like you being here, first of all, and being open to engage in this like public forum space. I know it's not always easy. That with that being said, I recognize like last week we had some people like wanting to pay for card pulls and like have kind of like some guidance. And so I want to like make sure everyone's on the same page before I start implementing this, that you know that the members of the community portal have priority to like readings. So that's why sometimes I might jump around based on when those members show up. But also moving forward, I'm going to have it where if you would like personal cards pulled, like kind of as a priority, if you would like to have that happen, then you can head to the link. I've kind of like pinned it to the top here. It's a PayPal link. You can go and pay like a donation. I'll just say like minimum donation $5 or whatever. I don't know what their minimum donation is on PayPal, but that way it's kind of like, yeah, because I otherwise I can't get to everyone. I'm finding under the hour, and it would be great to be able to do that, and we'll kind of see where this grows. But with that being said, hello everyone. Hello, hi, love cats. Nice to see you here. I am doing well. I'm doing well. I'm feeling like there's a lot of energy moving lately. How are you? Anyways, okay, spirit guides. Let's see what you have in store for us as a collective. What do you want us to know? So whether you want card pulled private or like personally, you can let me know in the comments. Otherwise, this like collective reading will be exactly what you need. And of course, if you don't want to receive it, it's not no skin off my back or whatever the saying is. You do what you will, right? Take the words, take the vibrations you receive here today, and yeah, whatever it needs to be for you. So we have here right off the bat, we have the Lovers. On top of it was Failure, the Eight of Cups. And then next to it now, we have the Five of Swords, Defeat. Both of these which were in reverse. I want to just add to that. So just speaking that, but I don't always read like that. Hi, Neymar. My name is Sean, so that's interesting that you would even say that. Happy birthday, love cats. Happy birthday. Okay, so we have an alchemy card, key 14, with that failure card. And we have the magician. Ooh, we're getting lots of like archetype major arcana cards here today, which is interesting. And I just want to speak to the idea of the lovers kind of being on top, as like this being the I want to say the primordial energy, which is a weird choice of word, I would say. Um this like primal first base energy that you are. Okay, there's something here. I feel like your guys are trying to remind you that you are this dualness, this polarity, like mirrored experience of masculine, feminine, light, dark, left, right, everything in order to make a whole version. Think like the yin yang symbol, that like completeness of a wheel. Okay. And I think for some of you, this has maybe been a bit of a challenge. This representation of accepting your masculine or the willingness to accept the feminine aspects of yourself. And it's really taking a toll on your manifestations, is what I am being told, I guess. Um, when we see this card, this is tied to the Hebrew letter Zayin, which it represents a sword, is kind of like the interpretation of that. Um, so whatever that needs to be, what is it that you need to cut away from? Your guides are asking here today. For some of you, it might be stories or beliefs, which is often represented by the swords. And I think we're getting here with the Five of Swords, that defeat card, like the thoughts that seem to be, you're allowing yourself to be defeated by. Like it's you kind of like being stopped, because we can see this being kind of laying here and the sword sort of like falling. Okay. But the swords are breaking. Like they're not those, I was just mentioning in a group like chat, the reading for the day was something around the lines of oh, how can I word this? Oh, maybe I'm not supposed to word that. That's interesting. How else would you like me to say this then? So sometimes your victim stories or the things that have happened to you in your past, they may just hinder you because you continually perpetrate the same story, the beliefs, the worries, anxieties, and it's you just like laying there on your back. To me, this looks like a lion. It might be even a um what is that, like a ox or a bull or something, but it's like you have a power inside you that's unstoppable, but you continually allow this victim story to come in the form of thoughts and worries, anxieties, beliefs that then hold you down, but they can't really touch you, but you let them stop you. Okay, like it's you slowing down the pedals, like of the gas, like hitting the brakes instead of just going through it. Like, because you can like literally just, like almost like a stunt man or woman would just like can go through it. Like that's how powerful you are. So why do you continue letting that defeat impact your manifestations? Because on top of that, we have here the magician, right? I'm seeing some of the comments here. Hi, everyone. If you don't know what intuitive readings are or card readings, that's okay. You can take what you will. Am I psychic? I don't know. I just did read cards. Intuitive. There's, I think, a little bit of a difference. But anyways, so this magic card, this magician card, this is one of the other major arcana. This is a representation of who you are as well, because you are the powerful creator of your reality. If any of that wording, that ideology doesn't make sense to you, well, I'm sorry, because now that you've been here, be open for the universe showing you all sorts of fun things. And then maybe you'll be back and we can have more conversations. This is part of the spiritual awakening or emergence process, the waking up to the fact that this world around you is greater and bigger and more intricate than maybe you've been told. And you, as the magician, you have all the tools at your disposal to create the reality. But because it was with this Five of Swords, this means to me like your guides are really just wanting you to know that you have the ability to basically, like mentioned, that stunt driver just like going through the wall, not letting the the wall stop them for the shooting of the film, literally going through, not letting any of the victim stories or old stories, experiences impact them. It's like you have the ability to completely transmute and transform that energy. Okay. Maybe you feel like in the past you've sort of failed. I didn't even realize this card was called Alchemy. So that's, yeah, totally binding with that. But maybe in the past you've had this sense of failure, like emotionally, you've been impacted by some of these stories. It's not just like the thoughts ruminating and ruminating and ruminating. It's actually been emotional, I want to say like an abuse. Yeah, but it's like, you would be emotionally abused by someone else. Like you are doing it to yourself. And your guides are kind of being like, you need to alchemize that shit. Like you need to turn that view of it. You need to shift your perspective. You need to look in the mirror and really be honest with yourself about, is this energy of like spilling all your cups, dare I say, really supporting you, really serving you? With this alchemy card, when we look at it a bit more closely, you might not be able to see it too well, but there's like a lot of like very like eerie kind of entities on it. We got some horned creatures. There's like a skull down here that's also kind of split and mirrored with what looks to me like maybe some type of like I don't know if it's Asian or East Indian like god. But it's all, oh, this even might be a Mayan like god with the skull because it looks like a headdress here. I'm not really 100% sure what it is, but what I'm seeing with that is the concept of death, the fears and the worries of this whole alchemization process. This is going to hold you back from really integrating all the parts of yourself and tuning into that magical aspect of yourself. But it's also like, I guess maybe what I want to say with this is you're like not letting yourself really face these issues, these victim stories, these traumas or abuses that happened to you from whenever they happened. You're not allowing yourself to face them and thus process them, like kill them off. Because death, dying is a change, it's transformation, it's alchemy, it's all these things in one. Hmm. And it requires a bit of a love because we have here the ruin laguz. I would say we also have the ruin algaes here, which to me is like a self love and like a self like almost like a sacrifice. Making something sacred into itself. Like that's really what these lovers are doing, right? And that's what union is, or marriage, the marriage or union of the two polarities within you. That's why they're holding this cup, and the staff is going into it, right? Sex, like this is what this sacred union is. This is happens within you. But in order to experience this, there needs to be a bit of like love and a little bit of sacrifice to make things sacred. That's what the sacrifice is. It's a sacredness of a process, the sacredness of you as a human being. Um, okay, let's see what else. Let's pull some of these chakra cards. Let's just ask your guides to kind of give paint a bit of a picture of like maybe some chakras area, the chakras being the energy centers of where maybe you need to kind of put some focus. Okay. Hmm. Hi, Jovi Hayag. Hi, Meredith, darling. Hello. Nice to have you here. So we have a perfection card. We have a dissipating card. So we have a root chakra and we have a yellow solar plexus chakra. We'll pull one more. Okay, two solar enlightenment. I'm gonna go like this. I'll show you these cards. So we have dissipating, enlightenment, and the first card that came out was perfection. So like I'm just like seeing those words in a sentence, kind of like, so you need to let go of this perfectionism that you have been holding on to, that's like coming actually not from you, it's coming from your ancestral roots. That's I think where the red's coming from. And it's impacting your solar power, that solar plexus energy, your like real like sense of confidence and like joy, because you were like holding on to this view that the perfectionism is going to lead to an enlightenment when you really need to let that all dissipate. Like you need to let those old stories go. You need to let whatever the shadow is, because that's what I'm seeing with the guy in the TV that this woman's watching. You need to let that all just like fade away. That's gonna, if you're not being careful of whatever, like I want to say hooks, stories might be kind of linking you to your ancestral roots or your family stories of who you are, how perfect you need to be, whether you're worthy or not. All of these are going to really be impacting your ability to step into this lover's like union energy. However you wanna take that, if maybe you're looking for a relationship, like that sacred union with someone, but I really feel like this is more of an internal one person sort of thing. Because too, if you've been listening to me for a while, you will never come into a relationship, at least not sacred, like blissful relationship with another human until you have this union within yourself. Or, there are the cases, I guess, where you both can be doing that work together, but you have to have first done a significant amount of work, I feel personally. That's why we go through spiritual awakening, right? It's so that we can come to this enlightenment, but it's like the imperfection of perfection, or perfection of imperfection, right? It's knowing that everything that exists, when you go out into nature and you see the like plants and the animals, everything coexisting, the murkiness, like I went for a walk the other day, there was mud and there was like the water in the river was like so brown, and everything, even amongst the greenery and the lush, like berries growing on trees and the birds singing, there was so much happening that to me, it was recognizing the imperfection of our reality, of the world around us, of the people around us that actually brings enlightenment. Isn't that kind of what the Buddha experienced? So perhaps here with your spirit guides, there's some messaging around recognizing like the importance of suffering, right? This is kind of this failure, this defeat energy that's here. All of that stuff combines so that we can really recognize our personal power and like touch God, see the light that exists within us and within others, even in their darkest times. So let those words sink in for a minute. Hello, Network O. So, do we choose? Yes, if you'd like personal cards pulled, you can let me know in the comments and I will get to it after this collective reading. As I mentioned, priority readings do come for those who are, what did I say? Members or people who've gone and donated at the PayPal link, which is tagged or pinned at the top of the chat here. So if that interests you, you can let me know. Otherwise, and I'm just doing that. You don't have to pay. It's just that way I can hopefully get to all the people. So I feel like it's been like getting really filled up. But hello, Fatima. Hello. Yeah, let's pull one of these. We're going to get into personal card pulls. So if anyone would like that, you can let me know in the comments. Ooh, and if you didn't see the, what do you call it? New moon ritual, or the new moon ritual posting, that's going to be happening this Friday evening. I'm excited for. I didn't realize we have like 2 new moons in Virgo. This first one happening at like pretty much this close-ish end of August, and then again on September 21st, and it's going to be a eclipse. So there's going to be a lot of, yeah, it's like a 2-parter. We're going to be using that energy to manifest some stuff. If you want to take part, you can join the Practicus membership. Oh, actually, it's just open for all members, I think, that one. right? The energy healing we hosted last week is for Practicus members in the community. And you just hit join to join that. Okay, we have affluence. Ooh, I feel like with this card, I love the lime kind of green color of this card. There's just something so like juicy about that to me. And it's funny, you think about a lime, right? It's juicy. You can make yummy like treats with that, but it also has like that sour, like tart. Like even me just saying it, you can probably taste it. But with that being said, your guides, it feels as though they're wanting you to know about your like ability to create these ripples in the world around you. And they're not just ripples like waves when a stone gets thrown into a pond. Like this is very heavily, I'm being drawn to the awareness of the sacred geometry of this card. Like you as the person who holds codes, light codes, sacred codes, geometries that just with your presence in a space influences or creates an affluence here, right? Of like abundance, of wealth, of just so much more potential, an energetic potential. Um, you might not ever know or see these things, but like really you're being encouraged to recognize you as the centered like dot, and these symbols, these movements of lines and points really touching other people's lives, even touching the space in which you are filling. So can you just recognize that, I guess, within yourself right now? And anything that doesn't allow you to receive, perceive, accept any of that as a contribution, will you just destroy and uncreate it all, please? Good, bad, right, wrong, pod, poc, all 100, shorts, boys, povats, creations, bases, and beyonds. Just dissipating any of that doubt, dissipating anything that's maybe holding you from really receiving and accepting that part of yourself. Okay. I'll pull, I think, one of these, maybe one of these too, because I'm enjoying these lovely chakra heart cards. And I will put some names down because I see people commenting here. So we got Lulu. You'd like some cards, Lulu. Fatima. Okay, sweet. The sun. You all know me. Well, if you know me, you know that the sun, this symbol in itself is just so powerful. The golden energy of the sun brings fame and fortune. Isn't that kind of what the word affluence is? I'm going to look it up right now. I really want to check. Affluence. The state of having a great deal of money or wealth. And money is just an energy, right? It's an energy. So, with that being said, you can see the point here in the center, the circle, the waves here of all this energy, all this money moving through you. This morning when I like got this new stretching app and I've been enjoying using it, and the one like wake up one starts with a bit of like a sun salutation, and it's like literally stretching and reaching up. And when I was doing that this morning, I was just connecting to the sun, connecting to Ra, that energy of the sun. There's like the solar adorations, which I've talked about before, these different ways of invoking the energy of the sun and its different phases. But this energy of the sun is the alchemizing force. Is that which is going to help you, your guides want you to know, to transmute this stuff that we've talked about, and for you to really step into your lover's energy and your ability to be the magician, the manifestor creator of your reality. So how can you continue to engage that sunlight that's showing? We're going to pull one more of these for the collective. Okay, spirit guides, any last message here for the collective before we get into personal cards? Wisdom. This card came out in one of the other, I think the energy healing, was it? I don't remember. So many times I'm pulling cards like I feel like for YouTube, so. I love how we have here like indigo-y colored like high chakra. This is gonna sit at the top. This wisdom energy. Have you guys ever watched the like show? Is it oh, what's it called? Howl? No. Howl's Playhouse, is that what it's called? It's like a cartoon, and there's, like, demons and all this weird stuff, and then there's that Hootie, like, the owl who's, like, the house. Someone would know here know it's like a kid show, I guess, but anyways, this guy in the show is, like, the most hilarious character, and he's got, like, this sort of energy of, like, a lot of playfulness and just being in everyone's business, but, like, everyone's, like, annoyed as with him. So I guess with me saying that is like, what wisdom can you pull today that like lets you still be a playful soul that you are, but also like is able to read the room? Like, and maybe this is tying to the affluence for some of you. This is interesting. I did not think this was going to go here at all, but like, I think for some of you, your guys really are just wanting you to know, and like, you know who you are if this is for you that you are putting yourself in rooms with people in situations that are not contributing to you and your solar light, to your fame and fortune or your affluence, your wealth, to your ability to recognize your magical power. And this could be from like family scenarios to social like relationships to work. Really, you're being asked to have wisdom of knowing where you need to be and where you don't need to be. And in that show, the like owl like is literally like the head of an owl, but on this body of like this long elongated tube. I don't know, like think maybe Donnie Darko or something. But it's like he can move to and from wherever, whenever. That is you. So why are you staying in places when you know better? You have the wisdom. You know your body intuitively is picking up on like, mm-mm. And this is really impacting your ability to be that affluent person. Okay. To be in the balance of your lover's energy. Mm, yeah. Okay. I think that's all I have to say about that. Thank you. Thank you guys. Okay. So just whatever that meant for you, folks, whatever that meant. And I'm just realizing we haven't really done like a guided practice in a while. So we'll see if we do that today. Maybe we'll just do a breath work right now before we go into the personal card pulls, just to kind of like integrate, bring this in, let it settle the words that were shared, so that you can, yeah, leave from this place and take the action that's necessary for you to manifest what's your heart's desire, what's being you're being called to. And this was part of the energy work that we did last week in the practicus video in the membership was all about like tapping into the heart's desire, the passion for life again. You can check that out if you want. I won't get into details about it, but this week we have from the 21st to the 24th, the star Regulus. The sun will be in like this position in the northern position of the sky where it's really tied to this star, which is considered like a star of wealth, a star of royalty, of like power. And I feel like this might be why some of this like messaging is coming out today. It's like you really have the ability to tune into this wealth, to tune into your affluence, to tune into your magic and your power. And this week you can do that. You just have to be willing to take the steps for it. And sometimes that energy work can help us to realign to that path, clear out the gunk that's no longer serving us. So if you want to check that out, it's in the membership. Literally, I think it's called like Heart Centered Passion for Life Energy Healing. But for now, let's just close our eyes before we go into the personal card pulls and just start to tune into your body, noting your feet on the floor. If you are sitting, just maybe placing them so that they're flat on the floor, making contact at all points. And just noticing where your breath is falling, how shallow or how deep it might be. And we're going to do the fire breath here together to just charge up that solar energy. I'm going to bring your awareness, I'll ask you to bring your awareness to that place of like the diaphragm, sort of like this mix between the solar plexus and the heart space. And here you can envision that image of the sun. And we're going to do the fire breath. I'll guide us together. It's just simply an inhaling to the count of 4, a holding in the breath for the count of 4, and an exhaling out for the count of 4. And then we inhale again. So I'll guide us through. So beginning on empty lungs. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, hold in. Exhale. Inhale, hold in. Exhale. And continuing now at your own pace, whether you shorten or extend each of those 3 sides of the triangle of this fire breath you are building inside that heart space, that space of the sun, allowing it to charge the solar light inside of you. Really noticing that stillness as you pause with full lungs at the top. Allowing the gaps between each phase of the breath to be as minimal as possible, really to just flow from one to the next. And now we're going to sync again together, starting with empty lungs. Inhale, hold in, exhale. Taking a deep breath into that space where the sun sits at your diaphragm. Pausing at the top, and then letting it go with an exhale, sigh out. So recognizing this light within you as you come back to the space here. We're going to pull cards now, starting, I think, with Lulu, personal card pulls. So if anyone is just joining in with like cards pulled, you can let me know in the comments. We'll see how many people we can get to today. What do your spirit guides want to tell you, Lulu? A little bell. I brought that because it's like very like spirit guidey and stuff spoke to me. I think it was like my grandma's or someone. I don't even know. It's got a very earthy energy. You got the 3 of Cups. Maybe that's what I'm talking about her. Very strong feminine energy with this little bell. Look at her. Oh, this is so cute. Maybe slightly eerie. Puritan woman. But with that being said, Lulu, you have the 3 of Cups. Overflowing. 3 representing Bina. And then we have the 6 of Swords, science. I'm going to put this back. Guides. Okay. So I feel like for you, oh, this is interesting, Lulu. I don't know how you sit with the concept of like intuitive ability or guidance, that understanding that comes from experience that you've had. That's very much what this three energy is. Bina, the mother sphere on the tree of life, it's called. But then we have here, we have the eight of stones, which is the knowledge card. But when I saw that, I instantly went to the knowledge of the Father. Then, like these two as a polarity, even though that would usually be a two card, there's something here about like your ability to tune into intuition and your ability to just know things because of intuition, because of the fluid feminine ability of like the womb space or what, however you want to call that. Because even, I mean, some people would say men don't have a womb, like energetically, even. I think we all have that space as like a powerful, like gut knowing, right? So that's how I would word that. But then you have this card, the Six of Swords, which is the science card. It's maybe a challenge to sometimes balance the knowing, like the rational knowing, and the understanding of the like intuitive knowing. Does that make sense? Um, and what I want to like just speak to that is because we have the eight here. Eight is tied to the sphere of Hod, which is Mercury's sphere on the tree of life. And that is linked to magic, really. Like we can think Thoth, we can think you know, whatever, like anything that's kind of tied to that sort of like mercurial, magical sphere. And if we were to perceive how magic was kind of like initially the first science, right? Like alchemy is a science. In the historical sort of era, like, I mentioned the Puritan era. I don't even know what this is. Like, not necessarily from that time, but like anything science would have been seen negative, like Christian, like, or religious belief would have been at the forefront. But we've kind of seen this like shift now, right? So like it's like this like you're being called to really balance these two ways of being. As someone who I would say I'm like very much like on the intuitive spiritual side, and like this is why I struggled with like the psychiatric nursing. I feel is like I would always just say I'm not really a nurse. Like even long before I went through my spiritual awakening while working as a nurse, just parts of me didn't align with nursing. Though I can see how there's sometimes balance within medical systems, scientific knowledge, all that stuff. But I want to just point out, I don't think I've ever really noticed this. See how the eighth stone here is actually just a bubble of water? Where did that bubble of water come from? Right? So there's something here that I feel like you're really being asked to recognize from your guides, Lulu, is like, how can you let your intuition and understanding of your experiences help you maintain or build a firm foundation of knowledge within research or scientific realm? Maybe I don't know what communities you're finding yourself in or how that's like showing up for you, but maybe this has been like a bit of a struggle. Okay, I gotta read comments. Yes, I definitely tend to have an inner knowing. Definitely a challenge makes sense. Sometimes challenging to be silent, living in the city or getting the pull that I need to be more in action. Maybe you can elaborate on that. Um, I feel more spiritual than religious. I grew up from in a Christian family, but I feel more religious, more spiritual when I'm with family. I feel like I'm in two worlds. Which I guess you could say that because, like, I'm using the word science. It's not really about science. I can't remember what Crowley says about this card. Maybe I should look it up. Mm, where is it? Where is it? Um, Bear with me as I just get this number here. Six, eight, Six of Swords. Okay, but you said some dogma is the word I wanted to talk about. Dogma, right? That to me is like a science, the dogma of religion. It becomes like these formulaic theses and statements that people hold on as absolute truth without tuning into, well, what feels real for me? What have I experienced that feels like a truth? And like, I love how it's like that one bubble is still a part of the whole of all these different rocks kind of forming, but it makes you kind of wonder, like, what does that water bubble feel like? How is that bubble perceiving itself or even perceiving the rocks and vice versa, right? Maybe that's stuff that you're kind of going through with your situation. Okay, this card also is sometimes known as the Lord of Earned Success. So let's just read. Let's just read. It's interesting because it's the Tiferet of Vav, labor, work, journey by water is what the description is here. I'm just going to read some of this stuff. Let's see whatever shows up for you. Tiferet, which is the sixth sphere on the tree, shows the full establishment and balance of the idea of the suit of swords. This is particularly the case with this card, as the intellect itself is also referred to the number six. Mercury in Aquarius represents the celestial energy influencing the cherub of the man, which is the six of swords is linked to Mercury, which I guess we got eight here, right? Mercury in Aquarius. Da, 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 da. Okay, represents the celestial energy influencing the cherub of the man, thus showing intelligence and humanity. But there is much more than this in the symbol. The perfect balance of all mental and moral faculties, hardly one, and almost impossible to hold in an ever changing world, declares the idea of science in its fullest interpretation. In the Thoth deck, like Crowley's deck, he describes the image of the card, which is very different than what's drawn in this Heindel deck. But he talks about the hilts of the swords that are ornamental in the image form in a hexagram, and their points touch the outer petals of a red rose upon a golden cross of six squares, connecting it thus to the rosy cross as a central secret of scientific truth. So it's interesting how, Crowley, a lot of these occultists, the AA, it's all about like, scientific illuminism. And this concept of that, meaning my experience and my actions within magic need to mirror or like have a result, an end result that I can see, evidence and proof that the work I am doing, the spiritual practices I'm carrying out, the rituals or ceremonies, that they actually are having an impact in my world. And that ultimately is the understanding that comes from your personal experience, not from anyone else's story around you. So maybe that was, yeah, there's something about that. And like when we think about that kind of traditional tarot term for this card, the Six of Swords, as the Lord of Earned Success, it's like you earned it. You mentioned the action, Lulu. Like there's something about those steps or process of the work that are required. And if people here, you might be new here, maybe you've been here for a while, you hear me talk about the great work, you hear me talk about let's do the work, right? Let's take the actionable steps to do ritual, to sit down and meditate, to journal, to create shifts in our reality. It's because it requires work. And I think many people aren't willing or able to do those things. And it's not because they're lazy, though sometimes it can be laziness, let's be honest, for me too. Sometimes like, "Oh, I just don't feel like it. Oh my gosh." But we have to balance doing work and resting in the appropriate way. But it comes a time where you have to take action. You have to do it. If you continually are feeling stuck in your life and you feel like just things aren't changing, then you need to do something different. Okay. I realized this personally just like the other day. I'm like, oh, I've been talking about a new vehicle, new vehicle. But I'm like, but I haven't gone and really done the work to get the new vehicle. I haven't gone and test drove a bunch of cars or done my research. It's been very like, yeah, when I feel like it. But it's like there's action, 4, 4, 4, 4 on the time. There's action that needs to happen. So, Lulu, your guides really want you to take action, to know that you deserve it. You will have success, but also balancing this knowing and this understanding, because what matters most is your experience within it. Let's pull one of these for you, and then I think we'll close and move on to the next. You're trying to balance being still or going forward, fear of missing out in the world. Yes, on point. I'm at a point where I want to be true to myself beyond dogma, religion, and polarities. Yeah, I hear that. Well, you're in the right place. And, for any of you, you're wanting to really dive into this work. Maybe you're tired of like surface level healing. Maybe you really want to address the root causes of some of the issues you've been experiencing in your life. Well, there's more work that we could do together, right? There's the link below. You can book a soul alchemy session with me. And yeah, maybe it's even just a personal reading. We can dive deeper into some of this stuff, whatever it needs to be for you. I leave that and invite you to it. But here, Lulu, I love this. We have that indigo-y like card, the third eye vision. And the description of this card is healer. And the path number here is 32, or the number of the card is 32. So you as this healer, you as this person with these gifts, this ability, whatever that means, doesn't mean you have to go and start like doing like energetic healings on people, laying on of hands, whatever you want it to be. You heal again just by simply being present and hearing people, sharing your story, right? Like there's some inner knowing here that even your experiences, again, the experiences you've had in your life, the good and the bad, or the good or the not so good, that's going to add and contribute to the lives of others, just like in that affluence card we saw earlier. I love that number 32, because when I think of that, I think about like every step of the way that Jesus took before 33, before the rising of the Kundalini energy, the consciousness, and the resurrection. It was all part of the evolution of him. And it's all part of the evolution for all of us. There's no difference. It's an allegory story. There's truth. Then, yeah, anyways. So there's something here about I think too, for me, like the Saturn return, the spiritual awakening, everything that was like in the 30s to like, when you get to 33, I remember journaling, like how important that was. So um, there's stuff here for you. Can you tap into it? Can you trust it? No matter what anyone else, as hard as they may be, rock hard they might be in their beliefs, their views about the world, can you just know that there's something more? And you do this by going inside of yourself, reflecting on your life. I love how it looks like an R, this eye. Is this the eye of Horus, I think? I always get those two confused. Left, right, left. Anyway. Oh, I love that symboling, that color. I'm 32, I'll be 30. Well, there you go. That's cool. That's cool. Hmm. Anyways, now's the time. So thanks for being here, Lulu. I think you've been here before. Happy birthday next month, too. Let us know when your birthday is. Hello, Tahira. Long time no see. Okay. Yes, you're welcome. I see people coming and going from this chat, so of course, as always, if you'd like cards pulled, you let me know. And we've just done that. I think now we're moving on to Fatima. Okay, Fatima. And of course, like I said, members get priority readings, and also people who would like readings through the PayPal app. You can donate there, and I'm doing my best to check. So, yeah. Let's see, Fatima, what the cards have in store for you. Oh, the Hermit. Ooh, there's so much hermiting this year. Oh, yeah, Tahira. We'll pull cards for you, too. Well, please start. You guys all know. You know who you are. I appreciate all of you that have been here since the beginning. Ooh. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. So Fatima, I'm like hearing, hmm, I don't know, Fatima, like how your life situation has been that you've then like kind of like gone inside of yourself, hermited, um, created some type of separation. And like, I don't know if this is like literally when this uselessness card came out, this is Seven of Swords. When it came out, first what I was, like, witnessing, like, I was, like, hearing, like, a parent being like, "You're useless. You're so useless. What is the point of you being here?" Kinda like, if you're, like, living at home and you're, like, in your room all the time and your parents are kinda like, What are you doing? What are you doing?" I think that's probably, like, a very cultural thing. Like, I could hear, like, all Nigerian parents being like, you need to go and do something with your life. Like there's this energy of like uselessness and it's like perpetuating this really grotesque figure, like a shadowy monster of self. There's that, but it could also be, I wonder, like, are you thinking you're just useless? Which might be you're picking up on the thoughts of parents or other people around you, like, "Ugh, like someone doesn't even have to say it, but you can pick up on it when you're intuitive like that. Like the hermit to me just means you're tapped in, tuned in to the reality. Okay. But like one thing that's really like showing up here from the perspective of why why you might be keeping to yourself is like you're kind of like dimming some type of light or power that you have. Maybe it is that you pick up on people's thoughts and feelings really strongly, so it is easier to just retract into your own space, into like the turtle shell and lock everybody out. But there's like something here around like a gift. You have the what is this? Nine of Fortune. The Nine of Cups, which is the fortune card. So it's like this experience, like, I wanna go into that word experience again. The experience maybe that you've had, even if you went through this in the younger years, and how that can then be translated into your now moment, but also, like, how you can help others with that light, with sharing that light. Um, because that's kinda what the hermit does. I don't know if he's holding a lantern, but the traditional deck, I wonder if I can find it, like, it's just a beautiful image, that traditional deck. Oh, it's so convenient to have all the major arcana right at the bottom of the deck. Forgot about that. I should shuffle that better. Maybe that's why I'm not using that deck at all. But like he's holding this car or this lantern, right? That's fascinating because I thought I saw this star in this formation of these swords. Oh, so Fatima, like whatever that might be, we'll pull one of these and just kind of clarify chakra card. Okay, we need to read comments. Oh, Tahira, you came back into the thing. Cool. I don't know what's going on with the membership stuff. I'm honestly kind of contemplating shifting um into like a Discord channel or something. I just don't know if people would want to use that. Anyways, Fatima, let's see what you wrote. My 13-year-old son is like this at the moment, though he has ADHD. I'm actually registered blind and disabled, but I don't mind him as I know he's supported. Hmm. He's been off school since April, so due to my disability, I'm mostly housebound. Ah, interesting. Okay, 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 okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, well, let's pull one of these. Sorry to hear that about your son. I hope things are, kids right now. Like, I guess what I want to say to that, kids right now. Hey guys, I got like a voicemail, like a 2 or 3 minute voicemail left on my phone the other day from someone who like we maybe texted like back and forth a little bit um about like a completely different thing. And I listened to the voicemail and it was literally like some kid and the parent, I think the person, it sounded like maybe um like just having this huge fight. And like she's like, get to your room, and there was swearing, there's so much like agitation. And I, as a parent, just felt like, as a parent who has a very sensitive child who, especially during the school year, can like oftentimes just like struggle with going to school, struggle with being around people, unconscious people especially. Um, I just had like I felt so much compassion towards whatever was going on with this phone call. Um, and I texted. I don't even know who this person was. Like I had the name was saved in my phone. I'm like, I don't even think I met this person in real life. I think it was just in like a call or like, but I just said, hey, like, I just thought I'd check in. Is everything okay? Do you need any support? And like I don't think they knew it left me this like voicemail. Like it must have been like a misdialed number. But I just like it hit me to realize like, oh my God, how many of us parents are experiencing these sorts of like cha I wanna say challenges or like situations where we are being asked to use the things we have learned and healed and experienced to support our children in a completely different way. My parents, like with things that happened with my kid, my parents would have been like, like there's no other options. You don't have feelings as a kid pretty much. Like there's no, and that's not like cuz my parents are horrible people. It's just that's the generational shift that we've experienced. And so with that being said, Fatima, like whatever is showing up for you, whatever is showing up with your son, however ways it could be that that can be really challenging and um tiring, draining, like sometimes I'm just like, "Hey, I can't just shut the door," like, because we are not our kids. They have to go through what they need to go through. And you have here the orange chakra perseverance card. You don't have to be everyone's healer. You don't have to be helping everyone. I feel like with this card, your guides are really saying, just surrender and it's okay. Like, doesn't mean you're giving up. But can you put any of those weights, any of those struggles, personal or others, onto this place? And then with that surrender, I mentioned this word sacrifice, this like surrendering up of some part of the self. This can be in a way to increase that light, to really connect to spirit, because I love how in the hermit card there's the hermit holding the lantern, but way above is this infinite light, right? It's like this mirroring of this. What is light? What is it? It's love. It's like all encompassing energy. It brings warmth, right? It nourishes us. How can you continue to like bring that through you energetically to make this like influence? And then from there, like, how can that, again, I'm going to go back to this Nine of Cups. It's a fortune card, but the cups usually represent emotions, right? It's not like, it's not pentacles or discs, which is like a tangible thing, but all of that fortune, all of your needs that maybe you're feeling need to be met, but maybe you are like kind of like wondering, are they going to be? Working gratitude come like don't give up even when things seem like how's this going to work next week we have to get school supplies or like I don't know whatever it might be. I don't know what is that. You have release at the bottom of the card deck too. I don't know, I gotta read some more. Hmm. Okay, is there anything else I need to say? Hello ethereal moonlight, it is there are readings, so community members get priorities. Oh, okay, just a minute. 7, 9, 10. Or 7, 9, and 9, 18, 25, 7. Back to 7, yeah. Fatima, like if there's anything around art that you can use to like tune into that place of like just bringing a bit of joy and gratitude. I definitely invite you to utilize that, um, however that is for you. Okay, your guides can guide you towards what that is. So yes, uh, yeah. Mm. Yeah, just calling those angels, those guides to support anyone here watching, anyone who's struggling even with putting themselves out there, tuning into their creative potential, just asking that alignment. But thank you for Fatima's guides. Okay, let's just move on. Okay, Ethereal, we will put your name on the list. But next we have Fatima, or sorry, Tahira. Hello, Andrew. What did you say? Happy Monday. I've been lurking, like nice. I enjoy your posts on Instagram, by the way. Um. Anyway, yeah. I don't really want to use those cards. Let's use these ones. Okay. Yes, yes, Fatima, you're welcome. Okay, Tahira, what do your spirit guides have to say? So if you are new here and you're enjoying this, you want to take part again, I invite you to subscribe. Like this video, share it with someone if you think they need to maybe tune into that collective reading at the beginning that we pulled. Hmm. The first card you have here to hear is the Sun. Beautiful image. Put this on the side. Oh, then the Tower. Oh, happy Monday. Here, I'm thinking about finances in particular, but whatever comes through. Really? So, really, whatever comes through? Oh, wow. You got like 3 major arcana cards. The Hangman as well. I just feel like I need to do something real quick here with this. I need a pen, though. So we have Resh, we have Pay, and we have Mem. So we have the Sun with the Resh, Ed, Gabo, the Ruin, which marks the spot. X marks the spot. You have this margin energy of the Tower with the letter Pay. And I love how you have geese in reverse, because then you have the Hangman, which is kind of like that symbol, right? Like the self-surrendered. This is the letter Mem. Surrendering, letting go so that you can go forward with Tiwaz. Okay, just want to speak that. But with that being said, I want to calculate this. Oh, anyway, I feel like I haven't whipped out the Kabbalistic encyclopedia for you guys in quite a while. Just want to make sure I got my 80 for the pay. So we have 320. So I'm just calculating the letters, right? 320. So this is just the gematria here. Just bear with me. There's a reason I'm obviously being called to this, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's all pointless. It doesn't feel like it's my ego because it just like instantly was like, interesting. So one of the words that also equals 320 is sek, which is a thorn or enclosure. And I love that. To me, that's just representing this rose on the Sun card. Just going to check the 777, 320. Okay, it says something here, a phrase. It may, I'm not sure in the Hebrew what it is. It might be like Raim, It's translated as the friends, enclosure friend. So I don't know what's going on with your friend people, Tahira. Friendships, the people you call friends. Yeah, because sec, I just gonna write this down. Sec, sheen, final cough. Enclosure or thorn. There's something about that. So whatever those words might mean to you. We also have sheen. When we take that sec and we divide it into sheen and kaf, shin and kaf, we have judgment, and we have the wheel of fortune. What is that? Let me read some of your comments. I'm thinking about finances in particular, but whatever comes through. Oh, thanks, Lulu. I appreciate the donation. I'm always open to receiving from you guys. But yes, thank you. May it return to you tenfold. Okay, Tahira. Yeah, surrender is big for me, especially when it comes to finances. I think we talked about how I always want to know where it's coming from to prepare. Oh, yeah. Well, look what card you just had that came out was trust. Trust. And like, so I was like thinking about these letters and like the meaning of that word. And like what I was really coming through was this like sense of like maybe you like closing yourself off, like you as the rose and the thorns that are like pricking the friends, the people around you that actually want to help you, that actually maybe want to help you get out of your situation and like let you see things from new perspectives, but like to rebuild what you're talking about finances, but like rebuild your life, rebuild the things that, rebuild the city of your life that wants to like come about new. But you have to be willing to trust those people because we have that sheen as like a judgment. And then we have like, it's almost like, so if you were to go to like a debt consolidating person, or like a business, um, you'd have to have a conversation about your debt. You'd have to be like upfront, honest of it's funny how I said upfront. Didn't I? Like we can be scared to like share our financial situation and be upfront, honest about what's going on. But at the end of that, the final ending of it would be this energy of the wheel of fortune, the sense of like of abundance and of receiving. Okay, not just like money and wealth, but like everything that can be offered. But it does require a level of letting things collapse, recognizing they're collapsing, trusting the process, and surrendering control. Mm. But one of the other words that was in the book in the 777 or whatever, Sephiroth, by Crowley was this phrase for boy that was used as a title for Enoch and Metatron. So there's something about like a very prophetic aspect of someone that can be like a messenger. Metatron is kind of like the connector to God, right? Um, and like, maybe that's what this is here. I'm seeing this light in the darkness. Didn't you get this card not long ago? Let me just show that. Um, Very timely for the trust card. It makes a lot of sense. I always want to do it on my own. I don't like feeling like a burden, nor do I want to share details as I feel like I shouldn't be in the situation if that makes sense. I hear you. I think it depends on how you share it, where you share it. Like don't need to put it online, right? But when we can be honest about it, then it like names it and it surrenders the intensity. All of those things I wanna say are like these walls. Like, you've kinda had these enclosures, But also, I think you've had to, I think that's where that word initially was. Like, you've had to build those enclosures because of some of the friendships or relationships in your life where you had to kind of like protect yourself with the thorns. You know, a thorn, a rose protects itself by using the thorns so that people don't mess with its beauty. But also now, okay, where can you surrender? Where can you let those walls go? So, whomever, whatever this person is, or these friends, mentor, even, or someone that's like going to support you with that. Some of the biggest wins I've had in, like, say, the shadow work stuff is when I would say is when I do the shadow work processes in a group. Being that vulnerable, not just in front of, like, some one coach who's lead or facilitator who's leading it in, like, a private setting. I've done that many times. But as soon as I go on the carpet, they call it carpet work, and they do the shadow work, and there are, like, all these people there that some people I know, some people I don't know. Some people I'm like, "I don't really want you to know my stuff." There are ways to keep it so that you can tell them to leave. This is specific to shadow work, like a trademarked process. But, like, I can tell you when doing that work in that group setting, it's so much more impactful. And what I found, usually the people that, like, kinda trigger me the most 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 on the thing, it's funny. They are the ones that tend to, like, oh my god. Ooh. They're the ones that tend to have the biggest impact or influence on the things that they speak to me, either during the process or at the end during the debrief. So I don't know why I had to say that, but I feel like your guides really to hear want you to know that, like, just be okay and know you're safe and protected. There's nothing you need to do because the sun's gonna shine on you and bless you no matter what. That's funny, Sun, that title. Boy, I guess was the title of the book, but Boy, Sun, Bob, Hey, stop, stop. Yeah, let me read the words. When you said surrendering control, I went, ooh. So yes, I need to focus on that, yeah. I had to build those enclosures due to others from my past. I put a lot of trust and faith in those people. Now I do prefer to do it alone. I always feel like I need to do something. That's what I needed to hear. Yeah, you're welcome, Tara. Yeah, yeah. Mm, it's like the first step actions that can be the hardest, you guys. Ugh. Even I went with my kid yesterday. She's like talked about wanting a Jeep for a long time. And I'm like, well, you know what? Let's go test drive a Jeep. I told her this a while back, but she didn't budge on it. Well, but then, yeah, I was like, let's just go do it. And so we went. And when we were getting there, I told her, I'm like, oh, I'm anxious. I'm just noticing this anxiety in my body. And I'm like, and I notice that happens when I'm about to like go and or want to go test drive a vehicle. Like there's something that, and I just named it to her and it was like there's no reason for it. I just named it. And trusting that it's like, hey, this action that needs to take place will just take me to the next. I don't know why you just shared that thing, Jeff. Thank you, Tahira's guides. Hmm. Okay, Ethereal, you're next. And then I am going to probably sign off. So before I get into this last one, I just want to say thank you to everyone. Again, if you would like to continue diving into some of this stuff, join me. I think I'm going to be going live on Thursday again. I have some stuff I want to share. I've kind of been gaining some clarity about like just sharing my story more in hopes that that'll inspire people around like spiritual awakening, spiritual emergence, really about like tuning into this magical space to help promote like healing and wellness and balance in our lives. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. Subscribe so you're notified. You can hit that bell so that it like dings to you or however your phone works. But on Friday, we have the new moon ritual in the membership. For those of you who'd like to join, what is it here? I think it's like $5 or something for the membership, for that Zellator membership. So you can tune into that. Um, because it's going to be fun. Yeah, I can tell it's going to be fun. It's going to be like a two-parter with another one happening in September with that eclipse Virgo moon. Yes, it's $4.99. Yes. Hi, Jenny. Hello, hello. Okay, I got to think about ethereal. What's your last name, ethereal? It was like Moonlight or something. Yes, last name. Let's ask what your guides want to know. What do your guides want you to know? Oh, we got the knowledge card again. 8 of stones. Okay, okay. What did we do? Ethereal. Ethereal. Hmm. Yeah, that would make sense. 8 of stones here, ethereal at the top. Knowledge. I don't know if you were here for the other conversation about this card. Doesn't even matter because instantly I heard knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel. I don't know if any of that is something that's come up for you, but then to me it's a confirmation because you have Nuit here, the Mother of Swords in the south. This is the Queen of Swords energy. This is a very high important symbol, I would say, in the Thelemic kind of tradition. That conversation and knowledge of the holy guardian angel is also a very important aspect of like initiation and the process of like magical awakening. There's something maybe there that you need to explore. I feel like this came up for someone the other week too. You're the Prince of Wands, Son of Wands in the East, represented by Krishna, Hindu deity. I love how it's like playing the instrument and like almost in this dance, an etheric dance. So I feel like for you, you definitely are someone, I mean, it makes sense with your name, that's like playing in these etheric, very like non-tangible spaces. And yet there's something that can be deepened here. Like it's like you've been playing around in it is what I feel like. Yeah, I feel like your guides are really explaining you like you've been playing around in it. If we think about the prince kind of being this like undeveloped or like a form that's like still learning of yourself into then the queen, the king, right, who's like this developed form, manifested form of an energy. It's like there's something here that you are being asked to really explore, and this is probably going to be through this process of the holy guardian angel. So we're just going to ask if that feels right for you, ethereal moonlight, that you wish to receive the guidance and connection to that aspect of self in a deeper way. Because I think we always have it. Like, it's not like this is going to be the first time you're doing that. Like, no, it's not my power at all. Like, that's you. You are that already. But now you're being asked, are you ready to dive deeper? God knows that can be really challenging. Oh, I know I'm like constantly wondering, like, why? I just texted somebody. I'm like, we have something coming up in like a few weeks, and I'm why did I agree to do this again? Like, I know all the things that are happening. I mean, I know it's not like I know all the things that are happening, but like I'm recognizing that the current situation I'm in and the fears and the thought patterns and the learnings that are arising are because I agreed to that thing. However, many months ago, I agreed to it years, lifetimes. I know now it's like at the forefront. And maybe the second you need to hear it through. It's like, it could be hard to see through those what's the word I want to use? Those like cross points or crossroads of life. Even though you know you need it, even though your soul, which is to me the holy guardian angel is the higher self. It's the aspect of you that's guiding you on the divine path. You know, but it's still like, ugh, why? Why am I doing this to myself? So what guides Guys, what do you want ethereal to know in this last card? How can maybe this transformation or this knowledge be obtained deeper? Woohoo! That's an interesting one. You have the jealousy card. What was this? 23. It's interesting how this is reverse of the 32 that Lulu got, who also got that 8 of stones. So, really, what I'm seeing with this is like a protection of your energy is needed. Whatever those amulets, because that's kind of what this evil eye, the Hamza would be used to protect against that evil eye. You might need to start developing some other ways, more tangible, physical ways to protect your energy, whether it's like doing the LBRP, that lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram, the Kabbalistic cross, saging or smoke cleansing your house, having salt baths. Any of these things, you need to like up level that stuff to protect your energy. Because it's not like I feel like jealousy is kind of like a weird word to use here. Um, no one, because I don't think anyone can really hurt you, but it's like your mindset of other people's perceptions of you is what's going to hurt you. Like maybe something you say is like, "Oh, the person's just jealous," or like, they just don't like me because whatever. I did this and they didn't like that, or they wish they could have done it. Like, I don't know if these are words that you use ethereal, but like, there are ways that you can start to shift the energy and really encircle your personal bubble, your aura, your space, your mind. I'm kind of seeing it in these like different layers of self so that nothing can penetrate it, nothing can impact you or shake you, nothing can move you. And I say that I'm seeing Nuit, I'm seeing that goddess of the night sky who like encircles us here on the earth and has such a firm, well, a firmament, right? There's like a firm like basis of her existence. And like stable, unmovable, holds all the stars in the sky. I love that image. I love blue and gold like that. Mm. What else? Yeah, prepare yourself. I don't know what you're planning on doing coming up or what opportunities show up for you, but it's going to deepen that connection. Feel free to come back when it happens. If, when, yeah, should you choose it. Because remember, folks, you always have choice. And yet, even amongst that, sometimes, like, I know this is what I want to talk a bit more about on Thursday at that live. It's just how, like, when we go through spiritual awakening, it can be uncomfortable, yet we do have choice. We have the ability to like to and like the say in what we want to do or what is supposed to happen. But sometimes those things can like, we have to kind of get on the ride, the roller coaster ride, and we don't have control of where it's gonna go necessarily, like the ups and downs, right? We just know it's going from A to B. And that can be really scary for some people. I mean, for me, it was very frightening. I think everyone is just scared of whatever's happening. Just some people are more open about it than others. But thank you to Ethereal's guides. Can you be willing to go through the process of your life? And as I mentioned, if you're here, maybe you're feeling just really like overwhelmed, tired, of all this like surface level fluff, spiritual fluff, BS, the surface level healing in your life. Maybe perhaps you just really want to get to like the root cause of some of the issues that you've been going through or facing so that you can finally like transmute that shit into gold, right? This is about alchemy. Well, there's ways we can work together. So if you would like to schedule a soul alchemy session with me, they are 45-minute sessions and there's a link in the description and we will chat We will also just mostly explore the energy around these things. And I will bring in all the various things that I've learned from, my trauma informed practices as a psych nurse into then a shamanic guide and coach and energy healer, whatever the fuck things I do. Because it's the energy. This is what's missing in like therapy, the energy of what's been going on. It's deep inside of you. Sound helps shift this, the energetic processes like Reiki, the symbols, the words or vibrations, right? All the stuff we tune into during these soul alchemy sessions. And I truly believe when we have someone there to witness us, again, name and hold space, then that's when we start to create changes that we actually want to see happen. Whether you want to call it accountability or whatever, then I invite you, yeah, schedule that with me. Let's chat and see what shifts for you. And if not, then just come back here. Keep being part of the community. We have people: Andrew, Tahira, Meredith. Fatima, you've been showing up quite a bit. I think Lily used to come here. There's people that have been coming here since the beginning. I'm really appreciative of that. And it's okay to come and go, right? Energy is constantly shifting and moving. But there's a reason you're here. There's a reason you click to join in. Like, let's just be honest. How many times does that happen in life where it's like, oh, I don't even know why I clicked into this like link. Oh, okay. Now I see, right? So subscribe, follow, and like be back for more. I do these pretty much every Monday or some form. There's other clearings and energy work we do live, like on the public side and in the membership. But yeah, maybe I'll see you this week, Thursday, where I'll share a bit more about the spiritual path. Um, who knows when I'm doing it? It's what it's feeling like. But until then, I thank you all for being here. And yeah, may your guides, may your angels, your ancestors be with you to light your path so that you may know and follow in a way that feels true for you. Mm. So it is. I don't know if that sounds anything for you guys, but I like it. Okay, take care. Bye.